episode of Dealing with Digital. Today we have with us the man himself on the hot seat. Welcome, Sanchit, to the show.
Thanks, Anshoo. It's very weird to be on your own show sometimes, right?
So now you know what it feels like to be on the other side, right?
Oh, tell me about it. I've been sweating actually since, and it was so funny on Twitter yesterday. You were all over the place, right?
Yes, it was amazing. So I tweeted about this yesterday, and June from Oracle, Apur from HCL, everyone responded. Everyone is really looking forward to this. So let's get cracking.
People really love me, huh?
We'll see.
Excellent. Yeah.
So, Sanchit, talking about digital is everywhere today.
That's right. Yeah.
So, how do you deal with this onslaught of digital in your personal life?
I think it comes a little naturally to me, given the job I have, right? And so it's the time I wake up to the time I sleep. My life's actually full of digital. Sometimes a little too much of it, and I have to make a very conscious effort to say, okay, it's too much. I don't need so much. I'll give you an example. I have 5 phones. I have 2 tablets, and I've got 2 laptops. And sometimes keeping all of them updated, it becomes a bit too much, really. Then I'll give you a context as well. Right now, I have 125,000 unread emails in my inbox.
Oh gosh!
Talk about dealing with digital, right?
So much digital in your life. Talk to us about some experience that you've had with digital in your personal life that you've thought about. What a wonderful experience, and I want to take this to my professional life.
That's right.
Talk to us about that.
So, about a few years ago, I was probably one of the first ones on Twitter in Asia, and one of the first analysts, of course. I was using Twitter for a lot of reasons. And over time, what I figured was that Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook were becoming my go-to sources for content. And my reading patterns were changing. I didn't want to read very large reports, 5,000 words, 4,000 words, 3,000 words. I wanted to see a quick video. And that's what I thought I really enjoyed. So I said, okay, how can I use a lot of these ways of disseminating content and take it back to Greyhound? And that's what we built this company digitally, that, Anshoo. You lived this life with us, right? And we're a 100% digital company. We're born in the digital age. We've got no offices. We've got no visiting cards. We've got no physical assets. All we have is resources like you all across the globe. And we tap onto your knowledge, tap onto your expertise for different projects that come in. And, thankfully, being born in the digital age as an analyst firm has helped us be rated one of the world's best firms, actually.
Wonderful. So these are all the good things about digital. Talk to us about maybe a not so good experience where you thought this is something I must not let my customers experience.
Yeah, that's a very good one. Look, it's earlier it used to be death by PPT. Now it's death by notifications. I get hundreds. Sometimes, I lose count, and I have so many notifications that I go mad. Let's talk about my inbox again. I've got 125,000 unread emails. Now, 125,000 for real, okay? And there's so much of spamming on a daily basis. That was one experience I personally think that is a disaster for any company. So when we were designing our marketing strategy for Greyhound, I said, look, email campaigns, we'll have to be very selective about email campaigns. We will not inundate inboxes. We will take care of you guys, really. Even on social media, we will not actually do so much that ultimately it becomes a huge challenge for us at some stage, right? So we said, okay, you know what? We will not do mad email campaigns. What we will do is to ensure that email campaigns are monitored. More importantly, I take data privacy very strongly. I feel very strongly about the topic. So what happens is a lot of our data, when we actually give it to, let's say, magazines or media houses, is actually exchanged, sold, and monetized. And I'm very strictly against that as well, right? So at Greyhound, we've taken care. And again, this is something we talk about on a daily basis, and we live and breathe this life, and where we talk about the fact that, look, we're not going to do the wrong things. We're going to be very ethical about how we manage our client data, how we manage subscriber data. Look, we've got 150,000 subscribers across the globe. We've got about 15 million people who come and visit our websites on a yearly basis and read our insights. So we better do it right. We better do it ethical. And we do it in a way that helps our clients become better, and they shouldn't feel cheated.
So basically what you're saying is that you personally do not like being overwhelmed with content. Hence, you took that experience on to your customers with the company.
Absolutely.
So the idea is to not overwhelm the customer, but give snackable content and insights which your customers can consume.
Absolutely. And also, look, take the content where they are. So we're not taking them away from, let's say, their Facebooks and LinkedIns and Twitters and saying, hey, come to my app or come to my website. Yes, we're taking our content to their preferred medium. And that's what really increases our readability. Think about it. We've got very low bounce rates. Bounce rates on an average of 60-70%. Bounce rates are 20%, 25%, sometimes 30% at tops, right? So there's a reason why we've got a lot of stickiness on our website. There's a reason why we've got 15 million viewers. There's a reason why we've got 150,000 subscribers from across the globe. So we just got to do it right and take it personally. Whatever I don't want to experience, I shouldn't have my customers experience.
That's wonderful. And you also mentioned how important data security is to you personally, and you've imbibed that with the company.
Absolutely.
How you disseminate data and share data.
Absolutely.
I think that's a wonderful example, Sanchit. Thank you so much. Jobs are getting impacted, and the need and the requirement of skills is changing very, very quickly.
That's right.
How do you, as a professional, keep pace with this?
Look, it's really hard, very frankly. It's never easy to be told that your skills are no more relevant, and I think it's very difficult to also understand what moment do you start and what do you start with. So it was a couple of years ago when I was at Forrester, and I could sense I was growing out of my job. And I've always been an entrepreneur, right, since my childhood, literally. So I figured that it was about time I do something else. But it wasn't easy, very frankly, right? Of course, I used my corporate learning to spot an opportunity. But a lot of us founders do this mistake that we actually take back everything from what we learned in the corporate, the process, etc., take it back to the startup. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that because I have to unlearn a lot. So what I did first of all was to unlearn a lot of things that I had learned at the corporate because it's not the same. Then second was change of mindset. I had to give up the fancy offices, give up the love for fancy travel, first class travels and all of that. Think lean, think growth hacking. Also think beyond the skill sets that I had. I'll give you an example. All the websites that we have currently are coded by me. So I picked up coding. The day one, what I did was not to actually invest in my research capabilities, but I picked up coding, I picked up a lot of finance capabilities, and I picked up a ton of social marketing and social media capabilities as well, and a lot of best practices that I learned over the years. I said, let's actually go ahead and implement. Even from a perspective as to how do you actually build communities. That was not something I knew back in time.
Right.
So I, just to give you a context, every single day I read about for 10 to 12 hours every single day. And I very strongly feel that a day spent without reading is a day spent without learning.
Very well said. So what you're saying is that it's important to drop your baggage, learn to unlearn first, and be open to whatever comes your way.
Absolutely. You got to be so nimble. So the mindset has to be of a growth hacker. You can't say, you can't let a process define you. Wonderful. At the end of it, you have to allow the creativity to define you.
Sure. So much talk about digital, Sanchit, but last but not the least, I want to ask you, is there something about the old world that you miss?
It's so funny you say old world. I'm not that old, by the way. I'm just 34 years old, right? I'm not even 34. By the time this video will be published, maybe I will be 34, right? So, look, we are from the analog world, right? We are migrants to the digital world. There's a ton of things that I miss from the old world, quite frankly. The entire idea of picking up a pen and writing a letter to somebody, picking up a pen and writing a personalized, content and handing it to somebody in paper. I miss that feeling. I miss the feeling of opening up a book, the smell of a new book. It's quite essential, really. So clearly, I think and when we used to write earlier, our handwriting used to be better. I still remember in school, I got the best handwriting award. And today, if you ask me, I will fumble and I'll struggle because there are no spell checks, right? So,
on that note, there's this funny joke. So when people ask me to write something, I tell them I have a wonderful handwriting, but on the computer.
That's so funny.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing how you deal with digital, Sanchit. And viewers, if you have any more questions, any hard questions for us to throw to Sanchit.
Be easy, yeah.
Please just send them across. Drop us an email on connect@greyhoundgroup.com or tweet to us at Greyhound Group and we'll send them his way. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Sanchit.
Thanks, Anshoo. Thanks a lot.